he looked at me with compassion. This man, beaten and tortured to the point of death, looked at me with compassion. It had been a long time since I had felt anyone's compassion. You see, my mother died when I was 7. My father was a drunkard whose ideal of encouragement was to call me an idiot and tell me to leave him alone. So I did. To fill this ever-strengthening void of neglect in my life, I began committing petty crimes when I was 10 years old. I'd committed armed robbery when I was 15 years old, and by the time I was 20 years old, I killed an innocent man because he was simply in my way. I had no one. I had no one to lean on. I had no one to guide me. I had no one to tell me what I was doing was wrong. I had no one who offered me compassion or even hope. I was on my own. I was a hopeless cause. And here I was, 47 years old, crying, carrying my cross on the way to Calvary. It was amusing to me that this man, who people shouted from the streets, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, was being crucified with me and this other criminal. I knew of this man. I mean, I have heard of him, but I really didn't know him. Some of our friends had gone to hear him in the nearby villages. Some of them even said he fed a crowd of either 4,000 or 5,000 from 2 little fish and 5 loaves of bread. I guess Jesus had even eaten with my friends as well. I knew some of the girls whom I traveled with had found religion by listening to him. They claimed he was God's Messiah, God's chosen one, and God's Son. But I didn't believe them. Or did I? The strange Messiah, friending sinners and prostitutes. If I believed in God, that's the kind of Messiah I would want. Someone who acts as a friend, someone I can lean on, and someone who will walk with me through the garden and talk with me. Someone who will just simply be there to show me compassion and hope. But I didn't. I didn't believe in God. And I was sure that this Jesus wasn't the Messiah. After all, why would someone like Jesus, who can perform miracles and feed people and heal people and save people, be crucified with 2 thieves? Yet I can tell you this: I could not take my eyes off of him. A huge crowd came out for his crucifixion, the money changers, the religious leaders, the Romans, and all those religious hypocrites. An unknown person was even forced to carry Jesus' cross, this man's cross. This crowd stood around him, hurling insults at him. I joined in at first, but I didn't have the stomach to keep going. It was then I heard him praying from his cross, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." I was stunned. This friend of sinners prayed for mercy for his enemies. He prayed for the soldiers, for Pilate, for the mocking and insulting crowd, for someone named Judas, for the man who carried his cross, and for the people that weren't even there. He was struggling to breathe, but yet he prayed. He was beaten and tortured, but yet he prayed. He was in excruciating pain, but yet he prayed. I wonder what's going to happen to those whom he chose to pray for. He turned and looked at me as if he could see right through me. Once more, he looked at me with compassion. Even in my pain, I found myself drawn to this man. If, as some have said, he was sent from God, and if God was like him, showing mercy to sinners, then perhaps there was hope for me. There's hope for the hopeless. Levi, my partner in crime, began to hurl insults at Jesus once more. I shouted, "Levi, stop it. Don't you see? We're getting what we deserve. He has done nothing wrong." And then, for reasons I still don't understand, I turned to Jesus and said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." He looked at me for the last time and replied, "Today, you will be with me in paradise. Today, you will be with me in paradise." And he said something else and bowed his head. He gave me hope. And I didn't even get a chance to say thank you.